Andy Zimney coaches teams to think more creatively and more productively. Part stage improviser, part business executive, all former D&D dungeon master. Please welcome Andy.
For the last 20 years, I've had two simultaneous career paths, one as a leader on the business stage and the other as an improviser on the stage. When I tell people about what I've done in a conference room, nobody is terribly surprised. But when I talk about what I do on an improv stage, collaborating with other actors to build stories on the fly, people routinely say something like, "I could never do that. I'm not very creative." And I'm always left a little bit puzzled, because we're all born improvisers. As kids, we spend days on end pretending to live in a world beyond our own where we're capable of communicating and capable of incredible things. But then somewhere along the way, we're told to get real. And somehow we come to believe that if it's not real, it doesn't matter. And we lose track of the very thing that makes us human in the first place. Think about this. Our closest relatives, chimpanzees, just like us, they can use tools, they can communicate. But despite our similarities, they haven't done what we've done. The largest troop of chimps found in the wild tops out at about 100 members. Humans, on the other hand, have learned to organize in movements, nations, communities of thousands or even millions. How? What is our evolutionary advantage? The answer is make-believe. Humans are the only creatures on this planet capable of communicating about things that do not exist. A strategic plan, a budget, a constitution. They're nothing more than make-believe. Works of science fiction, reasonable guesses as to what a version of the future could look like. But those stories, if they're told well enough, can allow hundreds or thousands of humans to collaborate and build something beyond what any one of them could do on their own. All our accomplishments come from make-believe. And make-believe has never been more crucial because it's at the core of only the third great economic revolutions in the history of humanity. What drives our economic opportunities going through massive changes. The very first economy was the agrarian economy. It lasted 10,000 years while most of us lived on farms. In that world, power and wealth basically rested with those who owned the land. Next came the industrial economy, only a few hundred years ago with the arrival of the steam engine. Productivity was its fuel. One idea replicated over and over and over. But the engine of the next great economy isn't land or factories, it's connection and our ability to link our beliefs with each other. The internet gives us unprecedented access to more ideas, experience, information than any of the most enlightened of our ancestors could imagine. The old gatekeepers are fading away. Instead of a handful of banks, now you can go to sites like GoFundMe and Kickstarter to connect you with millions of potential believers. We all have a printing press, a ticket booth, a broadcast studio, and a marketing department built into the same gadget we use to hunt Pokemon. Success in this new world belongs to the improvisers, the creators, the make-believers, those who can see and believe in that which does not exist and lead us to a world we didn't think was possible. Of course, the internet isn't what makes us creative. It only expands the reach of our creativity. But regardless of the size of the stage into which we step, we all have that same innate and human capacity to imagine and to create change. Steve Jobs once said, "Once you discover one simple fact, everything around you that you call life was made up by people who are no smarter than you, and you can change it, you can influence it, you can build other things that other people can use. Once you learn that, you'll never be the same again. When we tell ourselves that creativity belongs to some other department, we let ourselves off the hook. So stop telling me you're not creative. Instead, tell me a story of something better that does not exist yet. Because the most important work you do in your life will not begin with an instruction manual. It will begin with a story of make-believe. The story, the belief you make real for the rest of us. Thank you.
Awesome, great job.
Awesome job.
Please give it up for our speakers one more time. That was amazing.